I hope that you are enjoying your Independence Day, and I hope that you enjoy the great Independence Day story that I have for you at the end of this particular video, and it's related to Elon and Twitter. I think you're going to like it. This is Randy Kirk. If you do like it, you could put like then, you could put like now. Subscribe, hit notify tomorrow. I am going to have an episode. I had a major epiphany a couple of days ago. By surprise, there was somebody else on Twitter that had about the same epiphany. So it must be right. Anyway, you'll want to see this episode tomorrow afternoon. And then, of course, there's all kinds of other things coming up as well. Uh, okay, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Multiple people now joining the Patreon. I'm going to start doing unique videos only for Patreon. Yeah, everything that ends up there will eventually be on some YouTube videos someplace, but these will be special, unique videos that video itself will not be ever on YouTube. So if you'd like to join Patreon, this is a great time because you get 7 days free to test it out because there's one of those videos up there now. I think you would really like it, and it's completely free if you join right now, and it's only $5 a month if you decide to stay. Okay, let's go into what's going to happen the rest of the week in the economy, in the reporting, et cetera, et cetera. I know I talked about this on Sunday night, but that was a long time ago. So let's talk about it again today because we have a short week, lots of time to move the market, lots of time for the market to do crazy things, lots of time for Tesla to go towards 300. I'll give you some estimates of what I think is going to happen at the end. Okay, potentially moving the market tomorrow will be the Fed minutes. But as I said on Sunday night, I don't think that's very likely because Powell and the other Fed leadership has been in front of Congress. They've been on panels across the world talking about what's going on in the economy and what they're going to do. They've been in front of the press. I mean, they've been all over the place for the last 2, 3, 4 weeks. So I don't think the minutes coming out now are going to reveal anything that will move the market. That's what I think. But you always have to be worried when the Fed minutes come out. I believe one of the other Fed presidents is speaking tomorrow too. Again, could affect the market. You can never, ever, the Fed could always move the market. All right, factory orders will be out. I think the Fed would like to see these easing, but I think the market would like to see these going up a little bit. But they don't want them to go up a lot and make the Fed mad. So, so basically, unless there's a huge miss or a huge beat compared to last month, I don't think the market's going to care about these factory ordered numbers. But maybe you'll have a huge beat or a huge miss, and then you could see some kind of ripple effect from that. Well, Thursday, the fireworks start with the ADP jobs report. The market is expecting 220,000 down from last month's 278,000. When I hear a number like that kind of a drop, I often wonder if the prediction they're making is more wishful thinking than thoughtful analysis. This would be a bunch of different economists that they've asked what they believe is going to happen. Well, are they just, are they doing that? Have they gone, because they're going to be asked, have they gone through and done a bunch of analysis? Have they looked at a bunch of stats that they have privileged availability to? I doubt it. So my feeling is that this is wishful thinking. Last month was a huge beat and the market didn't care. So maybe they won't care this time either. But I don't know, 2 months in a row, if it was a huge beat 2 months in a row, that could make the market a little bit anxious. However, I think it will be lower. I don't think it'll be as low as the expectations are. Maybe 258. Who knows? I'm doing that now too, because I don't have any inside information. But just in general, there's nothing going on right now that would make me believe that the ADP numbers, the job market is adding jobs. There's lots of people that need more workers, lots of companies, lots of businesses that need more workers. So I don't see that this number is going to drop dramatically. Initial jobless claims will also be out. The hope for is 246, which was compared to 239 last month. Maybe that's also some hopium. Again, unless it's really big, like 300 or something, or really small, like under 200, I don't think the market's going to care. They'll be interested. It'll be one more data point, but I don't think it's by itself will move the market tomorrow on Thursday. Job openings are also coming out that day. That's expected to stay about the same at 10 million. This could drop to 9 million. It could drop to 8 million and the market wouldn't care. It might go, oh, that's interesting. If it goes to 11 million, that would not be good, or 10.5 or something like that. But right now, what you've got is 10 million, if this number is confirmed, 10 million job openings for 1.2 million long-term unemployed. This is historically crazy. There is no precedent for this, but it's been like this now for a very, very long time. But you know what? In this particular situation, this economy, we have lots of things with no precedent. There is no precedent for virtually no inventory of residential listings. I mean, we were already at historic lows before COVID, and now we're at half of the number that we had before COVID. So it's historically nutty, and it's continuing. We are also unwinding the crazy results on bond yields, and so we still have this inversion. It is completely unprecedented to have an inversion that is going on for now a year. It's been a year since this bond inversion started. So I'm really interested to hear what Kathy has to say about that Friday night, Kathy Wood, when she does her report. So all of this has to do with the fact that we're continuing. We had all this money pumped into the system during COVID. We had all the shutdowns during COVID. We had all the imbalances of not having enough product over here and too much product over there. And all of that takes a while to completely get back to normal. We're getting very close to being back to normal right now. That's how I see it. And I think maybe given another 6 months, we will really see some normalcy. And maybe then we'll know what the market is really doing. But in the meantime, the Fed tends to be going, oh, no, we need to do this. Oh, no, we need to do that. Just about 3 or 4 or 5 months too late. Okay, also on Thursday, then, we have two measures of where we are on the service industry. One of those is the Purchasing Managers Index for services. That's expected to be flat. Then we have the Actual Services Index. That's expected to be up. That's what the market's expecting. Here, if there was a surprise on the low side here, the market could move. I think the market would be okay if services were slowing down a little bit. I know the Fed would love it if services were slowing down a little bit because there is still more inflation in the services side. So that's one of those Cinderella opportunities we have this week, where a slowdown in the economy in that sector would make everybody happy. Okay, so we'll see what happens. I'm not expecting any slowdown in services. I don't know why there will be a slowdown in services. So that's not what I'm expecting. Okay. We're going to get the U.S. trade deficit number. The U.S. trade deficit, of course, impacts both the GDP and also potentially inflation. You want to be shipping more out, if you can, and shipping less in. But if you're doing that, then that's probably inflationary because the product you're shipping in is usually going to be at lower cost. It's going to be not as likely to be impacted by U.S. inflation. Anyway, but there's so many, I hated to even say that out loud because there's so many subtle differences and so many ways up and down and sideways that the dollar versus the various currencies, I mean, it just goes on and on. I was in import-export my entire career, still importing from China. And I can tell you that it's really, really hard to get your arms around what you want to happen with regard to the U.S. trade deficit. But over the years, sometimes it's impacted the market in a major way. Not this week. It's not, the market will yawn unless there's something really crazy that happens. Friday's the big day because on Friday you get all the data about employment hitting. What we want to see is fewer jobs added than last month. But the street is guessing 100,000 lower. That's hopium for sure. It could happen, but I don't think so. So you're going to see some revision. You might see some revisions from last month's huge beat. And then maybe you're 50,000 lower, but you also have a lowering of last month's number by 30 or 20,000. All of that would be great. I think any lower number is going to be a plus. I think any higher, if they have another month like last month, oh my gosh, that's not going to be good for the market. The market's not going to like it if that number is as crazy as it was last month, unless there's a major revision to last month. Because right now, for some reason, the federal government seems to be having really big revisions, like to the GDP the other day. Did you notice that one? So anyway, I think unemployment will be back down to 3.5. That's what the market's expecting. I agree with that. And then all eyes will be on hourly wages. The Fed doesn't want to see a systemic situation where the wages are chasing the price increases. So they're okay with a 0.25 month over month increase, which would be a 3% year over year. And they feel that's the perfect complement to 2% inflation, where the worker is getting ahead. They're getting ahead month after month a little bit. Year over year, they're getting ahead, not falling behind as they have been for decades now. The average worker has been falling behind. So that's what everybody would be hoping for. I don't think we're going to get there this month, but maybe we get a little closer. By the way, Trueflation is still sitting at about 2.23 for their numbers right now. They have been down to 2.21, but they bounced up a teeny bit the last couple of days. Okay, a couple of side notes here. China, we're going Tesla news now. So this is the big news and the news that has the most likelihood of impacting the market tomorrow for Tesla. So Tesla China deliveries were 93,680 in June. Okay, 93,680. That is a record. That is a run rate of 1.1 million. What have I been saying is the correct run rate if Shanghai is full out? 1.1 million. So now it looks like China decided, Shanghai, they went full out last month. They didn't hold back anything. I've been saying maybe they were putting their foot on the brakes. I was wrong about that. Apparently they had their foot on the accelerator, or whatever we call that pedal now. Anyway, that's an amazing number, and that gives me more confidence that we're going to be over 2 million for the year. I mean, remember, we're at almost 900,000 for 6 months. So how do we not go over 2 million for the year is beyond my comprehension that anybody thinks we will be under 2 million. But there are plenty of people who still think that we will be under 2 million. Yeah, I just don't think it's even reasonably possible. Okay. So that, though, the 93,680, that run rate of 1.1 million makes Shanghai the largest auto factory in the world. And I think it's going to move the stock tomorrow. Now, by itself, it could move the stock anyway, but the momentum is already there. Okay, we've got massive momentum, and the momentum only took impact on a day when it was a light traded in a short day. So we could have had momentum carrying over until tomorrow anyway, depending on the general market. The last time I looked, the pre-market was showing me a little bit down tomorrow, but not anything significant. So yeah, I think Tesla will grab. I think people will say, okay, this is good news, and so the Tesla stock is likely to be bumping up the 280 number, maybe even to 285. In that range, maybe start off down a little bit and then pick up. Not 100% sure. Well, what do I know? I've just been lucky lately. So I'm on a roll. So I'm giving you some more numbers to play with. Anyway, that's kind of where I see it, maybe closing in around 285 tomorrow. And then later this week, maybe getting to 300. But I think the rest of the slog, in order to get to 300 or 305 this week, I think there's going to have to be good macro and or good Tesla news to make that happen. All right, let's see here. Drive Tesla Canada is reporting that Tesla has extended its referral program perks for Model S and Model X indefinitely. So, these are perks that instead of lowering the price, you give some perks, and some of these perks don't cost them anything, like a free trial on full self-driving, and some purchase, maybe some points that they can use to go into the swag. Anyway, not significant, but it shows you that they do want to move these Model X's and Model S's. And in this economy, sometimes that's a little hard. Jason DeBolt points out that the research and development is basically done. I mean, basically done for the full range of products that Tesla is rolling out. This is part of my epiphany. I wanted to report on it, let you know. I had this epiphany before Jason put out this tweet, but I went, oh my gosh, we're on the same page. Anyway, he says, look, all they have to do now is execute. This is an important idea. This is a really important idea. And tomorrow afternoon, sometime around, I don't know, 11 o'clock California time, maybe 12, I don't know. Sometime tomorrow, I'll be putting out a video on this subject in great detail. I think you're going to love it. So Tesla is also, according to another article here, I forget where I picked this one up, Tesla is going on a hiring spree for dozens of seasonal vehicle operators in North America. A few months of testing. The jobs are like for 3 months at a time. It says we are looking for highly motivated self-starter to join our vehicle data collection team. The vehicle operator role is responsible for capturing high quality data that will contribute to the improvement of our vehicle's performance. This role requires a high level of flexibility, attention to detail, and the ability to work in a fast-paced, dynamic environment, daytime and nighttime shifts available. So basically what they're saying is, you and I, when we're driving around town, millions of miles of data coming in, millions of miles of data coming in. What they want to do is they want to send these guys out, and they want them to drive in unusual situations. They want to send them to places. They want to give them a map and say, okay, go here, because that's going to give us some specific kinds of data that we want. Maybe they're going to go to Chuck's old left turn, unprotected left turn, or the new stoplight in Santa Barbara. Anyway, maybe they have specific situations they want them to go and test and test and test over and over again to see how they can get the computers to be more effective. All right. Oil still at $71. Bonds very unlikely to move. Stock market showing a little bit slightly off, just barely off for the morning. Then, okay, here was the one I told you I would give you at the end. This is on the Twitter and social media free speech front. All right, you ready? Come on, this is amazing. A federal judge has barred key members of the Biden administration from engaging in communication with social media companies regarding protected speech. A U.S. district court has ruled that parts of the government, including the FBI and the HHS, cannot urge, encourage, pressure, or induce social media sites to remove content containing protected free speech. Oh my goodness. You go, district court judge. Hopefully this, if it goes to the Supreme Court, hopefully they're even more specific and direct and make it even clearer. By the way, I think I'm going to put a link here. I think I'm going to put a card here about a first drive for the Rolls-Royce Specter. Okay, this is a brand new electric car, their first electric car. It is really beautiful. If I had 330,000, I didn't know what to do with. Actually, they're saying for a custom version, which everybody's going to want, it's like 450. If I had that sitting around right now, it's a really beautiful car. I think the guy who does the first drive is very funny, very clever. I think you'll enjoy the video. So check that out if the card is here, or I'll also put the link in the description below. Totally think you'll like that. I also encourage you to watch my video earlier today. That card for sure will be up here. And then what we did, Larry and I, we went through and we said, what is it going to take in terms of execution to get Tesla to 500 in January of 2024? Would you like to see Tesla at 500 in January of 2024? Would you like to see your stock double or almost double from where we are right now? So check out, well, Larry's great. You know, you love him. And he did a great job in that interview, helping me kind of get through what needs to take place. So hit like, hit subscribe, hit notify, join Patreon. Thank you again for all those of you who have. And then, of course, if you haven't bought the books, buy the books. As usual, it has been great talking to you.